I'm recording, but you're not. Don't include your warm-up exercises in the video.
Sorry. Me, my, mo.
Do.
I got to get my singing voice going because the first topic that I want to bring up
Singing
is something to do with singing. And I bet you know what it is.
Ugh.
Welcome to Watch and Complain, episode 211.
No. Was it 211?
Yeah, 210 with Spider-Man.
Oh.
If people want to go back and watch that,
Don't bother.
It's an amazing show.
Don't. Watch this one instead.
There's no plot in that
Forget
one.
the other
This one will have a plot.
Oh, I bet it will.
On this episode, number 211 of Watch and Complain,
.com.
are talking about stuff that we've been watching. Let's call it, instead
Whacking
of
off.
hour of sour,
Whacking off.
watching. Just call it watching. Watching and complaining. I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't really matter.
We should come up with a name.
It's just 211.
We're not going to, though. We should be calling it Whacking Off with Whack. Watch, whack off. No, that's not very good. We'll come up with something. Anyway, the point is, we're going to talk about stuff that we've watched, stuff that we've done, and none of it's very interesting. Probably won't be very long. Phil thinks we're going to fill an hour. We won't.
No, it's not going to be an hour. If
Well,
it goes
I'm filling an hour now.
I hate it because
now that you've asked, or now that you said we won't be able to fill an hour, I'm filling an hour just by humming the entire time.
So singing. Did you hear? You tell me what I'm going to bring up. I bet you can figure it out. Come on, you know something to do with singing this week in TV.
The Masked Singer.
You don't know this? Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
Oh God, are they having a musical?
They have a musical episode, and I've been
Lord.
waiting for it.
No.
I knew it was. I heard little tidbits, like little things, like little hints, and I'm like, you are not. I am so excited. And you know what? It was wonderful.
Really, eh?
It was Buffy-esque, because Buffy had their Once More with Feeling episode, which is my favorite episode of Buffy.
We've been watching watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, and we're up to we just finished season 3 with Best of Both Worlds, where he gets turned into a Borg.
Data gets the penis.
That's right, and then he becomes double penis Data.
The one's on his nose and the other one's in his butt.
Captain, this is illogical. But I'm watching it and I'm like, God damn, Star Trek used to be so good that it's even kind of in my own brain poisoned me a little bit against Strange New Worlds. Because Strange New Worlds is a bit too much people going cool, and then there's that absolutely awful fucking girl that will not die.
You can't help but having something to complain about.
Yeah.
Something to like just.
Well, she's terrible.
Pinpoint and go, oh, this is the worst thing ever.
And like the rest of the show is so good. That's what I remember. But she's the Troy. So when I watch TNG, Troy irritates me. I'm like, go the fuck away. Every time she's on screen, I'm like, go away. Really? I hate Troy. Excuse me. And on the new Strange New World, in Strange New World, I don't know what her name is. It's like Estevez or something.
I forget.
But I'm like, God, she's the Troy of the new show.
Typically, she's been kind of dumbed down. Not dumbed down, but quieted.
Maybe but she was the
season.
Really obnoxious comedy relief in the last season. I was like, oh man, this chick needs to go the fuck away. And you see Troy being used. Really, Troy is used as. I think the idea with Troy was she was going to be just wreck the table. Sorry, she was going to be the audience who's along for the ride. Like, oh, I wonder what's going. Like kind of our vessel for figuring out what's going on in the story. Okay. And then they decided, nah, that doesn't really work. And I think the whole idea was, okay, Kirk had Spock, so Picard's not going to have a Spock, but he's going to have a Data, he's going to have a Riker, and he's going to have a Troy.
Yeah. And
those three people make up all these different inputs that go into his head.
Yeah.
With Strange New Worlds, I know Pike has, he's got Spock, but then
he relies on everyone.
He relies on everyone.
Yeah.
And because Patrick Stewart was such a strong character in Next Generation, you always felt that he would listen to everyone's opinion, but at the end, no one was louder than Picard. No one tried to be louder than Picard. Picard always had all right, I'm at the top, and I'm the one that makes commands.
Yeah.
With Strange New Worlds, and again, maybe I'm just thinking about it, and false memories are creeping in. But that girl is so obnoxious. I feel like Pike has an idea as to what he wants to do, and she's like, "Oh, Captain, we can't do that. We gotta go down and see the Dodgers."
She does that in one of the episodes, and she gets she doesn't get in trouble for it, but she gets caught on it. Like there's someone who
Did
comes.
they kill her?
There's someone who comes on the ship that most of the ship don't agree with because of something. And she said, I'm trying not to spoil it for when you
Well,
watch.
don't.
She says something to, what's her,
Number one?
Uhuru?
Uhura?
Uhura, yeah. Says something, they're
Uhura's not
they're
on the
like
show.
gossiping. Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds. Is she?
She's the
That black girl's not
yeah.
Uhura.
Yeah. Totally is.
No.
So it's just like Kirk is in the show now, like every episode.
Really? Every
Uh-huh.
episode? Oh, fuck.
2 Kirks,
Great.
Kirk and his brother. Anyway, they're gossiping, and then the person that they're talking about comes onto the ship just as what's her face is saying the bad shit about him, and she's caught, and the captain's right there, and she's in for it.
I hope so.
But they never.
I hope
show
they
that.
fucking beat her, and she comes in, she's got like a black eye and shit.
Anyway, Strange New Worlds this year has been more what you kind of hate, and that meme-ish. Like they're trying to break the fourth wall almost.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I might
You
enjoy
heard
it.
about the last episode.
No,
right?
I've been-
not this singing one, but
No,
the one before
I've
that.
been avoiding anything
Okay,
about
I
Strange
won't
New Worlds
say
until I
anything
watch
more.
it. Yeah, don't say it. You already spoiled and told me there's a singing episode. Now I'm going to be watching the fucking
You're
show,
just gonna be fretting.
knowing that there's a shit singing episode coming
actually
up soon.
really good.
No, it's not.
All right.
But I've been watching Started Next Generation. Started watching season 2 of The Bear, which was a really good season 1 show. Really enjoyed it. I've been enjoying season 2 of The Bear so far. It's a show about a bear. He learns how to run a restaurant.
Yeah. Because bears like food.
That's right.
It's the best place for it to get a job.
Yep, exactly. Especially New York, who's going to notice a bear. And
Really?
I've been watching a lot of movies. I watched a documentary on Oppenheimer after I watched the Oppenheimer movie. I believe, I think it was a Netflix documentary.
Of course, you don't watch the series that I told you about.
What series? The
series-
World Series.
Manhattan.
No, didn't watch that.
So good.
No. And I watched a movie that I have tried to watch. I think this is my 3rd time trying to watch it. And I get about an hour into it and I turn it off because I do not enjoy it. I don't enjoy the
Are you
acting.
Kirk now?
I gotta speak all jilted apart. I don't enjoy the acting, even though it's hailed as one of the best fucking roles Marlon Brando ever took. But I very often try to rewatch the movie Last Tango in Paris. And Last Tango in Paris is a movie from 1972 by Bernardo Bertolucci that so many people are like, this is the next to Streetcar to Desire. Jesus, this is the
It's the pizza.
best Marlon Brando performance. And I watch it and I don't get it. I don't get why. I hate his character in this movie. I hate the young French girl. I have something stuck in my throat. I hate the young French girl that he meets, and not hate her as in hate the actress, but I just hate everything about the movie. I hate the situation they find themselves in. I hate that he's such a misogynist. I hate that the movie has no issues with depicting him and celebrating him as such a misogynist.
But that says something where it's like there can be like everyone loving a movie, and you could definitely just not like it. It's just
Yep, and again, yeah,
happens.
I'll never hate on anyone that like people who hate Star Wars or hate like Godfather, hate any of the great movies. That's fine. Everybody has their opinions. It's a movie that, and there's only a very, very select few that I try to sit down and watch because everyone's like, this is one of the best movies you'll ever watch. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know why everyone celebrates this movie. And yeah, so I tried watching Last Tango in Paris.
But if you're not into that kind of movie, that kind of
I usually am.
sets it up.
I usually really enjoy movies like that, but there's something about that one I just don't like. I watched in 4K with my son, in preparation for the Meg 2. We watched the first Meg movie. The movie was really stupid, but it's a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun watching
it's
it.
a great movie. I know that Meg 2 is bad. I haven't seen it, but I've heard.
Even Meg 1 is pretty bad.
Yeah, but at least it's like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it brings back those memories of like Deep Blue Sea and like those are not the greatest movies, but
Not to mention, Jason Statham is just so much fun to watch. He's such a fucking charismatic actor. You just have a ball watching him. For our family movie night, we sat down and watched. We've been watching the Star Wars series, so we just finished Return of the Jedi, and I had the despecialized version of it. So
how many times have you gone through these?
Myself? Oh,
Yeah.
Christ! I don't beyond count.
I'm not a rewatcher. I cannot like go back and watch unless it's been like 20 years.
For me, and my wife hates this about me. Most people who watch movies with me hate this about me. I watch movies and kind of like study them. Like I'm like, yeah, I can understand why a person might really like that and why they like this character. And here's why I think people hate this character. And here's what the story's trying to say. Like, that's all what's going on in my brain while I'm watching a movie. So,
like to voice it.
Yeah, I like to kind of
podcaster.
disassemble it and take it all apart. A web shower.
The wife hates
A feet finder.
when I see like production errors and I go, oh, obviously the producers planned to do this, and she's like, shut up, like I don't
I'm
need
just
to
trying to
hear
enjoy
this.
this,
Like yeah. And I'll go, oh, this is where the Starbucks coffee cup was in
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and she doesn't give shits.
Yeah, my wife now because she has hearing aids, and we have a thing on our TV where she can put it right to her fucking hearing aid. So she just fucking I'm not listening to anybody, and I'll be talking and yelling to me and the boys and are just yelling our fucking heads off at each other about the movie, and Karen won't hear any of it.
She's just turned
Yeah,
off.
she's just it's all going in straight to her ears.
I've been watching a lot of anime.
Really?
Yeah, I got into Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll gave away like 6 months or 3 months of Crunchyroll subscription
I don't know what that is.
through Xbox. Crunchyroll is like the #1 anime.
It's a show?
No, it's like Netflix for anime.
Oh, okay, I see.
So they have like,
it's like a
all
service.
all these anime shows. They dub and subtitle it if you need it. I just watch everything that's dubbed because they do better dubbing than some of the
Netflix shows for
yeah
sure.
Netflix shows is for a good example. Yeah, so I probably watched about 6 or 7 new series.
Oh wow!
Just going
and
back
isn't
and forth.
anime only like 10 shows to a series, or even less than that to a series?
It depends, but mostly, yeah. It'll act like a typical Netflix show that goes through. But they do this weird thing where the current releases, they'll come out and they'll put them out even though they're not ready for like dub. So they'll be out so people who do subtitle reading
You should make your own dubbing.
can watch it before the people who want to watch it dubbed. So I have to wait for the dub stuff.
Unbelievable. What
I
about
can't believe it. Yeah.
you should take a step into doing dubbing yourself, and it could be your dub step.
I once did tried out for a it was like, from what I remember, it was a teddy bear doll, and it was a cold read of like the script that they had for it, like they wanted for auditions, and so I auditioned as a teddy bear, like a Teddy Ruxpin.
Just your regular voice, or did you try to do a
No,
voice?
I did different voices and sent it to them, but they didn't. They just said thank you.
They would have gotten back to me.
Didn't get back to me.
I would have been like,
So I
Teddy Ruxpin.
that would have been funny.
I'm your doll.
Ruin my chances though.
Do you want to hold me and pet my fur?
Maybe that's what they were looking for, and I missed out.
That's what you should
They
have.
missed out.
When you finally saw the doll come to market, would it have like chains behind his back? And
So something that's really interesting in terms of audio like that, like a lot of movies and TV shows, they'll do their screen, their acting, and then later on they'll dub it.
yeah,
And because whatever audio issues or even like that's just the
It's
norm
called
for a lot of things.
ADR.
and it's just like ADR the whole episode. And you don't realize it if it's done really well.
Yeah, if it's done
but
really well.
you can, if you understand that that's happening, you can realize it and like ruin the experience for yourself.
It's also too when you, especially on a second viewing, I find of action movies, when you're, and one of the best examples was what the fuck's his name? Hugh Jackman showing he released some footage about behind the scenes him doing the ADR for Logan, and you're like, well, of course that's not the on fucking set audio. And then when you think of like the Avengers movies, or like Endgame or Civil War or whatever, of course it's fucking ADR. Like, how would you hear anything in that battle?
It's so weird to think, and I did that, like not Avengers, but like
I bet
that
you were Thanos.
That Souls of I should show you the Souls of Strife movie of what I had.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I didn't understand ADR at the time. I just like really just did not know.
You thought it would all be on-set audio?
Yeah,
Really?
And I thought that was the way to go. But I probably heard of it, but like never really thought about it. And then so when I did ADR, I didn't think seriously about it with the director. We were in his bedroom, and we were doing the ADR. Yeah, all the fight scenes. Oh yeah, do it again. So I did my ADR, but I wasn't like super serious about it.
Maybe that's why you're not an actor.
That's why I'm not an actor now.
Fuck's sake. No, you know what? And I think I got that ADR was the thing. I think mostly because of the types of movies I watched. So I would watch really shitty 80s action movies, horror movies, where sometimes they're using on-set audio because they do not have the money to do ADR.
Yeah.
And so you'd hear a guy talking in the mic from over here,
or a boom
and then
mic.
the next person would be talking like this, and then you could see the boom mic and shit like that. But especially when it was on-set audio, like there's no way the whole movie would sound like this. Like they've got to have some times where they're talking into a microphone, and I was like, okay, I get it. And then when you watch the one movie I remember, because I'd watched some behind the scenes stuff about it, was E.T. Because as a kid, and when you get really enraptured in that movie and you see like him and E.T. talking to each other, in your brain, E.T. is saying shit to him. But when you watch the behind the scenes stuff, you can hear Steven Spielberg talking to Henry Thomas and telling him what to do. And then when E.T. says to him, like, E.T. phone home, in the behind the scenes footage, you hear Steven Spielberg going, E.T. phone home, like he's saying. And I'm like, it's not Steven Spielberg as the voice of E.T. So that E.T. that's talking when you're watching the movie, that's recorded later on. So that's why I was like, I didn't understand entirely what ADR was, but I knew that it wasn't always on set audio.
Mm-hmm. And mostly not now. Like it's mostly all ADR, and it's just crazy to think about that these actors are it's really hard not only to act in general, but to go back and watch yourself and try to
map that perfectly.
Exactly. You have to do it perfectly, and if you don't, you get some scenes that just look like trash.
There are some actors too that do their own dubbing. Like I think it's either Ontario Banderas.
You mean like
different audio. Okay. But like I think Ontario Banderas does it. He'll do it in like Spanish and Portuguese and stuff. And I'm like, man, that's fucking impressive.
If they can do it, why not?
But it's cool too, because when you think of it, like, use Puss in Boots as the example. Puss in Boots has an English voice, and then he might have a Spanish voice or a Portuguese voice, and you're like, it's cool when they can all be the same guy because everybody gets kind of the same feeling.
Exactly, but also if you think about it the other way, the people that are filling that role that are not the lead actor in the normal or in a different language, if it's like anime, they might have slightly different personalities.
Yeah, exactly.
Just how they deliver their
gives
performance.
A real inflection.
Yeah. So Crunchyroll, go on Crunchyroll. If you have an Xbox account and you have Game Pass, one of your perks is Crunchyroll for whatever month. So go do that and just try out some anime. They have like the top anime on the site. Just try things out.
What was your favorite anime program that you watched?
Oh, I think one that you'd get a kick out of is I got reincarnated as a vending machine. So it's one of those like fantasy, like he goes into a
Most
gaming
of the
adventure
anime
world.
fantasy that I've seen isn't about vending machines.
A lot of it has tits.
Nice.
Like it's all anime tits, but
You know what I didn't know that the guys at GameSpot explained? So Karen always goes there and she loves looking at the games and whatnot. And I always go to the front where they have like the big tit
she likes
dolls.
the guys at the.
They're sexy guys, man.
Okay, if you work at GameStop, sexy.
Right. But they have like the big boob dolls and they're called waifu dolls.
Oh yeah.
And do you know that waifu means wife?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Waifu.
Well, how the fuck am I supposed to know that? But he said that. I'm like, these are what their wives look like. He's like, no, that's what they
you
want. That's what they
Yeah,
want their
it's a
wives to look like. I'm
fantasy.
like, oh. So I never knew
There's
that.
also like waifu anime where it's like it's focused on.
Why the fuck would I want to watch a show about having a wife?
There's specific genres of anime. Like there's harem anime, which you probably love.
And vending machine anime, apparently.
No, but it's just like there's so many like reincarnated things where they get reincarnated into a fantasy world or a video game fantasy world. And it's just these different types of plots where it's like in this one, it's so weird that like he's now a vending machine and he has to talk through the vending machine's programming and he has to be like the lead character and how does that go about? So it's very smartly done and you'd get a kick out of it.
Probably. I should try Country Roll.
You should go. You know what else is on there? The other one I talked to you about? And
Waifus.
It's the How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon.
Oh, shit. I'll totally watch that.
That has like 4 seasons now.
Nice. You know what I, this morning, started showing, we watched the first episode, because I've been in the car. Every now and then, you'll just start singing songs that just come into your brain for no reason. And the other day, I started
Macarena.
singing the Metalocalypse intro song. And if you've never heard the Metalocalypse intro song, it's death metal, so a death metal band. And it goes ding 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 tick tock, ding 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 tick tock, ding 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 tick tock, death clock, and I'm just doing that, and my kids are like, "What the hell are you saying?" And when they're singing the name,
Like they haven't been exposed to death metal in this house.
they have, but they're like, what are you saying? And I'm like, "Oh, it's the Death Clock show." And so this morning we started watching the first episode of Metalocalypse, and they're like, "This show is stupid," but they were like, "This is fun." The first episode, the chef gets all torn apart by a helicopter blade, and then they sew them all back together so we can make them food. It's a really dumb show, but fuck, it's fun. And they do a Duncan Hill's coffee jingle. And what's funny is I've heard my oldest son walking around because they're home, for summer break. And I've heard my oldest son walking around going, "Do you want coffee?" Which is the opening of the jingle.
So
It's
weird,
funny.
yeah.
But it's a good show. Metalocalypse.
Have you watched My Adventures with Superman?
No.
It's okay. It's an animated family, a Superman show. There's nothing special to it.
Yeah.
But it's all right to watch.
I have other stuff.
I watched it with my son.
that I'll watch before.
And the only other thing that I've been doing is gaming. Doing this show.
This show's pointless.
It's pointless. We ended at 2:11 because we just realized.
What have you been gaming? What have you been playing? I played. I'll interrupt. No, I'll wait for you to go. You go ahead.
Waiting for you to go back on it.
No.
Diablo.
I've been playing.
Yeah.
People must think like, what a...
This is how he is with
Yeah.
everyone.
I think they...
Just constantly.
But no, I played... oh, shit. I think it's from... it's either year 2000 or like 97 or 9. No, it's got to be newer than that. It's got to be like 2012, I think. Fear 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I played...
I think you mentioned playing Fear 1.
One,
didn't you?
yeah. And I just beat Fear 2. I don't believe I ever played Fear 3. Maybe I did,
Fear
but I don't
games
remember.
never got back to the amount of talk they got from Fear 1.
I feel like I enjoyed Fear 2 more than Fear 1. But maybe, I mean, maybe other people fucking loved it.
I know that people enjoy the Fear games. So.
I do know that I played Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2 to completion. Dead Space 3 I gave up on halfway through because I was like, this is just this first 2 games over again.
Did you play the new one that came out?
No, the remaster one, no, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I will, but I Dead Space 3 not left a bad taste in my mouth, but I was like, this feels like all the kind of boring parts of Dead Space 2, like all the oh, you know what? You've got to go here to do this now. Oh, you've got that thing now. Go over there to. Like, this is boring. Whereas in Dead Space 2, they really gave you a lot of cool story.
From what I understand, which I've never played, but Dead Space is pretty much like a Metroidvania, but 3D.
I never played Metroidvania.
It's basically like what you said, like go to this place so that you can go to this place, so you can go to this place.
That does happen in the first and second one, but
go back.
You don't. It doesn't feel. There's a lot of story going on as well. With this one, with Dead Space 3,
while tightening your butt.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Dead Space 3 just felt like way too much. Go here, now go here, now go. And I was like, I gave up on it halfway through. But now I've beaten Fear 2. Now I'm playing Middle-earth Shadows of War. I shouldn't say I'm playing it. I just installed it because it's 107 gigabytes to install from Steam.
That's not the RPG, is it?
I don't know. So I'll find out when I start playing it. But then once I play this, and it's funny. I see other people's screenshots of Steam, and it'll say, played for 57 hours, played for like 2 hours, like all these. And when you look at some of my games in Steam, it'll say played for 3 minutes. Because I'll start it up, install it, and start walking around. What am I doing? Nope. I don't do it then. Fuck this. I don't like this. And then uninstall it.
Because you are more a person that needs I keep forgetting the word for it, but the point A to point B.
Yeah.
Like you just want to go through the story.
I believe
Do you play on like beginner, not beginner, but
easy.
Easy, where it's like they call it the more cinematic modes? Like
I'll play on easy as I'm getting used to a game. So I did this with Fear, and I did it with Dead Space. I did with BioShock too. I'll play on easy until I'm used to everything, and then I'll bump up the difficulty to normal. But yeah, usually I play on easy. Sometimes I'll leave it on easy for good.
Which is weird because like I've changed my approach to this, and I've decided that like most games you can change mid whatever, right? So I will go and make it like the intermediate. Even though I think beginner is more my thing, intermediate, because then if it is too hard, then I go to easy, and then it's super easy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never thought of that.
If you go to easy and you're playing, you get used to easy. You go to intermediate, whatever it's called, novice.
Baby. I did like with Wolfenstein, as you're choosing all of your different levels, like, difficult is like, him, and then normal is like just his face, and then easy is him wearing a little baby bonnet with a soother in his mouth. I thought that was funny.
I think it would be cool if if games were to realize your level, like how well you're doing, and adjust for you, and then based on that, give you different endings. Which they do anyway. Like you go through easy, and then they're like, okay, now do normal.
The bad guy would be the end of the movie going, come this way, point the gun at me. All right, now shoot me. I'll just stand here. You shoot me. Stop shooting into the air. Don't try to climb up the wall.
Now
just
stop.
Shoot me.
I'm going to act.
But no, so yeah, I beat Fear 2, and now I'm on to, I believe it's called Shadows of War. What were you saying you were playing?
I tried out Diablo 4. That's a big one that was just popular.
Are you playing on PC?
On my Series X Xbox.
Show off.
Yeah. It's good. I played Diablo 3 to completion.
Okay.
Well, it was a long game to play, and it was super fun. Diablo 4, I'm not super into. And I think it's just because what I want in a game has changes over time. And so like it's a good game, but it's a lot of just run here and destroy things, run here, destroy things, run here, destroy things, get loot, put the new loot on yourself, destroy
get loose.
things.
And then he starts breakdancing.
The story isn't that big of a deal to me in Diablo 4. I'm sure people are going to be like, "Oh my god, the story's so awesome, and there's read everything and go to everyone." And I'm just like,
My wife doesn't always read it, but brings up every reading. So my wife's playing, and I think either today beat or is almost on it. So she'll be beating it tomorrow. Tears of the Kingdom. The new Zelda. Holy fuck!
It's a expansive game.
That's not a game for me. The Tears of the Kingdom and the Zeldas, those are
You're not an open world.
yeah, absolutely not the types of games that I like. I just that's not for me at all. And kudos to the people that love them, man. My wife fucking loves it. That's not a game for me. That much freedom. I'd be like, where the fuck would I even start?
This is why you'd like The Last of Us. It is a point A to point B type
Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe
because they have all the remasters now.
Also, I watched the film Blackberry from Independent Film Canada.
And you were saying there with the gaming.
That's right. I had a Blackberry when I was doing a lot of traveling for work. I lived on my Blackberry, and I loved it, dude. The Blackberry fucking ruled.
What was your first phone?
A Nokia, I want to say 3390, but it might have been a 2160. It was with Fido. Remember when Fido started?
It a brick?
It was.
Oh, I know they're all bricks, but I mean, like, was it the
not a big one? It was
Zach
a
Morris
small
phone?
No. It was a smaller one. It was a Fido. It was like the indestructible Fido phone. Indestructible Nokia phone.
Nokia. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
That was my first phone. And then my first Android phone, I remember, was an Acer. It was called a Liquid. It was awful. It was terrible. And then I got, then I went over to the Samsungs, did a whole bunch of the Samsungs. Then I did the Apple iPhone 4. And then I was like, I don't dig on the iPhones. I moved over to the Pixels as Google was putting those out. I went up to the Pixel 5. And then after the Pixel 5, I did a Pixel 6, the huge phone from Google. And then after that, I went back to the Pixel 5, and then I went to my iPhone now. But yeah, I had an old school fucking.
Yeah, all I asked was your first phone.
I like to give all the details. That's why my throat's hurting me so much.
I think mine was my first smartphone was a tungsten E something. You know, the pads. What are they called? Palms. Mm-hmm. And I used to plplay curling on it.
Oh no! For my BlackBerry, I would play Brick Breaker.
Those are awesome. Yeah.
I loved my BlackBerry. It was indestructible. I'll say that. It was fucking indestructible. And the movie was great. Jay Baruchel, who's usually...
It's another one of those tongue-in-cheek ones,
The BlackBerry?
right?
No, it's extremely
straight-laced?
serious.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jay Baruchel, that's why what I really liked about it, Jay Baruchel is usually very comedy.
Yeah.
He's dead serious in this movie, and he does a good enough job. Glenn Howerton was fucking great.
So was this all Canadian?
Yeah, all Canadian. Obviously, Glenn Howerton's not a Canadian guy. But
was the J.
Yeah, but Jay Baruchel, you'll see so many Canadian people in it. You'll see so many Canadian places in it.
Did they get Colin Mockery?
They should have. They should have got Ryan Stiles. Is he Canadian?
He's not Canadian.
No. But it was really good. I can understand why it didn't make a lot of money because it's more when you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, I remember this, and it's fun to celebrate that they were a Canadian company. But unless you're like a
Ottawa.
Canadian, no, they were in.
Well, sorry, they had a main BlackBerry
shit.
base in Ottawa,
Yeah, fuck.
off Moody Drive or something like that.
I don't remember now, but yeah, they say exactly where they're from. But point is, if you're a Canadian and you knew about BlackBerry, it was fun to watch. But I can understand why it didn't make a lot of money because it was a very niche audience that would watch it. But it was good. I enjoyed it.
One day they'll do the same thing for other phone companies.
Rim job. That's what you would have because they were called RIM, Research and Motion. So if you worked there, you had a rim job.
Hopefully
Everyday
day.
rim job.
Close out the show, Rob.
Ladies and
Is
gentlemen,
there anything else you want to say?
I wanted to say one more thing. I built
Quit.
Commander Cody. I built Commander Cody, the Lego. He looks good. Now I have to build Red 5, which is Luke's helmet.
Where are you going to put
helmet.
them?
Right there.
You're going to just stack them?
And then
Maybe like Tetris?
next week, when I'm on vacation, going to Vaughan, going to go to the Lego store, and I'm going to get the Executor. There's an Executor. It's like a foot long. And I'm going to put the
Is this
the
a
Executor
class
right
of spaceship?
there. The Executor was Darth Vader's starship.
Not the
It was
X-Wing,
a Venator class.
not the X-Bomber.
X-Bomber.
The black one, a silver and black one that has like the sides like this.
You mean Darth Vader's X-Wing?
Yeah.
Or not X-Wing, TIE Fighter?
What is it a TIE fighter?
TIE
It's a
fighter, yeah.
kind of TIE fighter. What you
was
should
Darth
know
Vader's
what
TIE
it's
fighter.
called. It's not what it's
Darth
called.
Vader's TIE Fighter.
No.
Yes.
I guarantee you it has a
I'm sure it has a fucking
designation,
name.
And I'm surprised you don't know what it is.
I don't
and
give a
you're
fuck.
upset that I called you out on it, and you're going to kick me out now.
I'm gonna go as soon as you're gone. I'm gonna fucking go. What's it called? What's the fucking what's the model number of
It's
Darth
going to
Vader's
say Darth Vader's
TIE Fighter?
X-Wing.
I think when
No.
you buy it, I think that's it right there. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. See,
No, you
it
can
is.
go look at
I'm
the
gonna go get
box.
it.
I guarantee you it has a name. We have a green screen, so like he's gonna bring
Look
it.
at how much shit I got to move out of my way now, just for you.
I'm just letting this happen.
Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
There's no way
That's what it's
that's what they call it.
Here, you're taller than I am.
No, maybe they called it for the toy, but you know, you look it up.
Now I got to put it all back.
Ask Google.
What's this thing that I'm putting
Ask-
back? Do you know what that's called?
Ask Siri.
Do you know what this is called?
A
They
Wookiee.
changed the name of it because they think it might hurt
The
people's
Wookiee ship.
feelings. So it's Boba Fett ship. And Star Trek nerds will know this.
The
Boba
Bobo
Fett
ship.
ship, they've changed to be called Boba Fett Starship
And what was it initially?
Slave One. So they didn't want people
That's
to
a
call
little
it
too woke.
Slave One. They didn't want people to call it Slave One. So they call it Boba Fett Starship. Fucking babies. That is called Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
The toy is.
What would Darth Vader call it is the real question.
Go get my Darth Vader TIE fighter.
TIE
TIE fighter.
You close the fucking show. I will. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're sorry that you've been watching Watch Complain. Please follow us on all of our social medias like Instagram and Threads and Twitter and Grindr and X and YouTube and website. Go to website. Website called watchandcomplain.com. Rate website good. Send message. Say things.
Just goes to YouTube. They can just subscribe and ring
Just
the bell.
subscribe and ring the bell.
Smash that like button.
Smash that subscribe button. I guess you only smash it once, right? Just fucking ruin
What
your
would
computer.
you smash? Like
What would I smash?
the people, the workers at GameStop.
Yeah, exactly. All right, goodbye, everybody.